Hi, this is not a game dev vlog with an AKHLUT amalgamation run. AKHLUT, by the way, is one of the newer pets that basically converts mana into stats. It's tier 6, so we have to wait a bit before we even can get it online. So, by the way, this is also a pseudo-random pack, which means I re-rolled random packs until I got AKHLUT. In this case, I was not patient enough to run for the AKHLUT and amalgamation in one pet. So I just made some tiny modifications. So I added amalgamation, I added both the mana potions. And did I add something else? Oh yeah, of course, but that's maybe already in the thumbnail, so I can just spoil it. That's the mushroom SEAGUL as well. And I'll let you judge whether this thing is true. It feels true. It already felt for a little while the case that it has gotten a bit easier to get wins. So my previous video, I felt that I lucked into a win with something that took a lot of tries before I got it over the line. That was the giant squirrel mana. No, giant squirrel fairy dust run, which I was very proud of. So I hope it will get a bit more traction. Maybe I'll link it in the description. But it took 50 tries and then I one-shot it after a week of not trying it. So that's one data point for the pool becoming a bit easier. And then I tried it again this morning and I got it again over the line. So maybe they changed a bit in the algorithm. Maybe there's an influx of new players. Or maybe all this is just superstition. So try to keep an eye out whether you think my opponents are easier than normal. How many dung beetles spam are we going to see? How many stat spam are we going to see? What else? How many axolotl health food spam are we going to see? No, here we see a Gharial build. That's fun. I think it's, well, here you see the exact usage. You have the turn 5 Gharial. That means you can get a turn 7 melon on a pet. So that's quite strong, right? So here we go basically just in survival modus with some just good pets that we try to win, and we don't care about the long term. Of course, so always the name of the game is to buy good pets, but I mean, not really care about investing into the future. What we do want is to time our level ups a bit. Well, here we are not strong enough, but we still have the now 3 hearts. And we level up into this amalgamation, so that's a good start. Very strong pet, of course, amalgamation in general. Although right now it's not doing a lot. Well, it will... I was gonna say it will give the dogs some stats, but it won't. Just buy, sell the parrot. And the idea of the build is that we also find SEAGUL. So I think I'm gonna hard roll for that while it's still turn 4. So the odds are tier 4. So the odds are still a bit better to find it. Here we break the 2 goats. We destroy the 2 goats. And yeah, so the whole idea is that on summon we both get the amalgamation and the SEAGUL going, but ordering is very important. So I had some runs where I had the early SEAGUL and put the lasagna on that basically, and then you get the wrong ordering because the SEAGUL goes first and the amalgamation goes second. So that's why I now learned to stat up the amalgamation, although it's still very close because I bought it afterwards, and amalgamation really is trying its best to get its attack lower than SEAGUL by buffing the SEAGUL. Are we good here? Quite a strong team. But we have all this mana. So we draw. Of course, we still have to get almost all parts. So let me guess, because this is the winning run, are we immediately leveling up into an AKHLUT? Yes, of course. So we just sell Chimera. We get the mana currently from the Thunderbird and a little bit of the Blue Dragon, but it only needs 2 mana, so that's quite generous. I think that makes it quite a strong pet, right? Here we face this team. I saw it a lot. They have only 1 pet with stats and the evil book. So sadly, we do not get through their first pet, which means we lose. Now we level up AKHLUT, and I want to put the stats for a while on Amalgamation just to keep the attack higher. And then we just get the Nyala for more instant impact. And we even find a level 2 Nyala, so that's great. I'm not really interested in Amalgamation level 2 because leveling up does not give it more triggers, it does give more mana only. Would it be cool if leveling up gives 2 times spooked as well for... yeah, only for Unicorn I think it would matter. But it would be funny, I think, that it gives spooked twice in some way. Would not really be a downside, right? So we level up, find another level up of the AKHLUT. So now we are already quite close. I'm not interested in the Bakunawa. I need a Thunderbird just to get this AKHLUT going because the initial mana is already removed and we need something to buff. I put the Amalgamation here to the back because otherwise it's doing nothing, and now it might buff the dog if it stays alive. Very good. Ambrosia there. Well, my plan to buff the Nyala is gone. We are actually buffing the Thunderbird, which was highest on the list to go. But now, maybe, yeah, maybe that's the saving point, basically. That would mean that we almost just want to keep this team. Well, we are only on 1 heart and 5 wins. So now we really have to find out whether the pool is weaker. So we find Mushroom. Of course, if you find an early Mushroom, or if you find it before AKHLUT, then you can copy the Mushroom already, but we cannot do it right now. So we just first give it to the AKHLUT so we can get the double AKHLUT value already. So let's see that in action a bit slower. If we do not get disrupted, we again have a very good Ambrosia. We block the Swordfish, and apart from that, they don't have disruption. So that's 6/6 in stats. We resummon. Amalgamation gives more mana. Another 6/6 in stats. The rest deals damage, wasting some Nurikabe triggers. And then we go from there into a win. So now we are scaling. We are winning. The 16/16 doggo wasn't even needed. And we have the last part we needed. So now it's just levels and stats. So here I do collect this Amalgamation because it's still decently nice. This is something you don't see a lot. Maybe this is also a full free to play. No, Doberman is not free to play, I think. But look at this. We are already on 38. So I think we had the full loop going here. I was paying attention to Doberman. But I think that's 18/18 in stats, which goes off 3 times. So it gets the first mana from the Thunderbird, and then 2 times from the Amalgamation. And the only way to get this loop longer is to level up SEAGUL, of course, but then you need a separate Amalgamation. So then there's nothing left to buff, basically, because we put all stats on the Nyala. And now I'm swapping this around because with this 18/18 we just max it out in 2 turns. So this is actually quite funny that it works so well. So let's pay attention one more time. Also a team without disruption, but a lot of stats. But look at this, that's 6/6. That's 6/6. The last one is just for show. It looks quite scary, but we have a lot of stats in the back. So actually decently comfortable win, right? So now we just have a little bit more mana, which only converts into some snipes, but that is nice. So the main point of these 6 mana snipes after it used the other 2 mana is to waste stuff like this coconut and like this melon, hopefully. This leopard is still too weak to disrupt us, so again we get free reign. There were some runs where I was feeding a snake or something with all these tiny summons, but here we are quite comfortable, and somehow even with these used stats in the back and this weird ordering, just to say something slightly critical to this team, we get the win. So now we are on the final battle. Not much we can do. So I decide to waste a little bit of stats just to have the weight of the stats in the front, because these two are almost maxed out. I could have also put amalgamation here, I think, but that is quite dangerous with some eggplant disruption, and also it will not give the dog any more summons. Well, that's not a good reason actually, because it will already be out of triggers if all goes well. And what do we face? The 50-50 hippo, which is basically useless because it's already 50-50. So we have all the time in the world to make our own Nyala 50-50. We wasted their lemon and we have the ambrosia. So we easily get through it with this very fun loop, I would say. So if you enjoyed this video and you haven't already, consider subscribing, leave a like, leave a comment. It's always very fun to read. And in any case, thanks for watching.